Welcome back to the Arsenal Save. As we crack on with the month of December, we're going to get very close to January over the next couple of days. We also have, finally, some proper tests domestically. We haven't had many of the big teams so far this season at all, and as such, we've kind of been beating everyone that isn't challenging for Champions League positions quite comfortably. We struggled against Roma the first time. It was slightly more straightforward in the second game. We did struggle against Manchester United in the last episode. And today we have Chelsea, and tomorrow we have Spurs and Manchester City as well. So it's not going to be easy over the next couple of days, and it will probably see what is currently a very strong lead at the top of the table just come down a little bit. I'm not expecting to win every game today, nor tomorrow. I'm expecting to see some draws here, there and everywhere. We have, of course, drawn with Manchester City already this season, and we'll probably be happy with the draw next time around as well. But fingers crossed we can come away with victories in the majority of the games we play moving forward. We've had the best start to any Premier League season I've had in any save ever, really. And I'm looking to keep that going if we can. But it will not be easy against Chelsea. The January transfer window, as we say, is just around the corner. We do have plenty of money to spend. And we're looking for a new backup goalkeeper and then just some further depth with the unfortunate injury to Zinchenko that sees him out for 7 months. We might find ourselves looking for another centre mid as well as maybe a winger. I haven't been as impressed with Nicola Pepe as I hoped I would be, so perhaps Nicola Pepe moves out and we bring in a higher rated wide option that is better than Marquinhos and better than Nicola Pepe, so that we have a genuine winger option. Because yes, Smith Rowe can play out wide, but he's not a traditional winger as you would expect. So perhaps we sell Nicola Pepe and look to bring in a traditional higher rated winger. Certainly an option I am considering. With regards to every other position, I think we're all right for now, but backup goalkeeper and a winger of some quality, I think, is probably what I'm going to look for in January, and then we'll see what happens elsewhere. But for now, we're going to concentrate on the football, and that being Chelsea away, which is never easy, but you can see from that initial starting lineup, some players are quite tired. We don't have a fully fit side either, but actually, I will double check and see if they've got any players of similar ability that have better fitness, but I think we'll probably end up starting like that. So if I don't show you anything else, that's how we'll play against Chelsea, and that's how they'll play against me. Do continue to drop the video a like if you're enjoying this save, and I appreciate all the support. Thank you very much for that over the past few days. My player is now longer with more content in it as per your request as well, so do check that save out if you haven't already. Still continually, daily coming to you. So for now, I will see you at Stamford Bridge. Oh, inside the Chelsea dressing room. That's a cutscene I've not seen before. We didn't see this last season. We will be doing a save at Chelsea throughout the course of this FIFA 23 year. Whether it comes after this one or after the next one will depend on what you guys vote for towards the end of next week. I will be putting out a vote for you to decide upon what happens next on the channel. But the Chelsea side you saw, I made one change. Took a really tired Lukaku out. And they've got Gerard Moreno up top, the former, I want to say Villarreal striker, but I'm probably off there. But he's the Spaniard that's quite highly rated. You know who he is. Gerard Moreno. I'm sure he played for Villarreal. Please tell me he played for Villarreal. He played for Villarreal. Hooray for football knowledge. Sterling. Oh, it's good from Chelsea, this. Gerard Moreno. Back to Raheem Sterling, who's holding off the challenges. Kai Havertz on his left. Sterling knocks Ramsdale off his feet, but the save is made. Looks like Kai might be going short here too. Raheem Sterling, see him running over there in his trademark style. Can't quite get to him. He's just a little bit too quick. Cucurella on his right foot. Oh, I thought that might have fallen kindly for Gerard Moreno. Cucurella from distance on his right foot. I feel relatively safe if he's doing that. Raheem Sterling has 13 goals this season. As much as Gabby Jesus has been destroying the league, it appears Raheem Sterling has been doing the same, so certainly we're going to have to keep an eye on him today. Just as they will be keeping an eye on our number 9. Going the other way, Martinelli looking for and finding Pellegrini. Cucurella went for me there. Saka's made a great run through the gap. I try and tuck this back. But can't quite find Tielemans. Tomiyasu into Bukayo Saka. Oh, Bayern go low. Enjoyed that. Erdegaard to Pellegrini. Will lift this, looking for Gabby Jesus, who is in behind. But Edouard Mendy makes the save. First proper chance for us. We've had to wait half an hour for it. It's probably too close to the keeper, and indeed it is. Edouard Mendy does very well indeed. Good ball over the top there. Gabby Jesus spinning in behind Cucurella. My best chance so far, but no goals to this point for either side. To then perhaps come back. Well, Jesus made a good run. I just didn't quite think to get him out, get it into him quickly enough. Tomiyasu's beyond Ben Chilwell here, and if I can find the right cross, Gabby Jesus, could be in. The cross was almost pinpoint accurate. It just so happens that Marc Cucurella was an inch taller than my Brazilian striker. Maybe his hair helped him, I'm not sure. You can see it flailing around in defence. Mason Mount back to Kai Havertz here as Chelsea look to come forward now and take the lead in this game. It has been a tough one to play. I haven't felt unduly challenged at the back though. I'm not necessarily feeling a lot of pressure in the game. I just haven't really cut them open the same way that we have done a number of other opponents this year. We will take it at 0-0 at half-time, but we could win this. Conte, João Moreno, Mason Mount. Oh, that's nicely out to Sterling again. Saka will try and get to him. And that's comfortable for Ramsey there. Ramsdale, Ches. Why does Aaron Ramsdale have to have such a similar name to another former Arsenal favourite? Aaron Ramsey, Aaron Ramsdale. I have made that slip of the tongue, I think, once every 2 or 3 episodes the entirety of this season. This save, fucking hell. Hup. Well up, Tomiyasu. Bukayo Saka. That was poor. Lukaku. Havertz off the bench. Romelu. Saliba. Comfortably able to deal with him. 10 minutes to go here. Other than that one chance, Mendy made a good save from Gabby Jesus in the first half. Not really created much in this game. Oh, it's a nice turn by Gabby, but because they've got so many defenders back there, we can't actually get away from them. Has been a much more difficult game, this, and that's as expected, really. I thought we would struggle a bit more against the other big sides. We're just in a position that we're so much stronger than the rest of the division. We're kind of in a... Well, formerly, obviously Liverpool having a poor season, but Liverpool of the last 2 or 3 years and City of the past, of the Pep era basically, we're at that level of dominance with the majority of teams in the division at the moment, but we are still finding it a little bit more difficult against the sides that are also challenging for either A, the title, or B, the top 4. Mason Mount will deliver this in. Kante's gone on. Hakim Ziyech is on in his place. Sorry, Kante's gone off. And Hakim Ziyech has come on in his place. But I don't think there's enough time left in the game to get this up the other end, really. Oh, there might be enough time for me to give them a winner, though. Kai Havertz goes for a worldie. And what a save that was from Aaron Ramsdale. Headed to the top corner there. Graham Potter expected that to give them the win right at the death. I need to be careful that they don't get this to Lukaku. Martinelli gets up and gets it away. It'll be a 0-0 draw. With the way that we've been scoring goals this season, I didn't see a 0-0 draw coming. Unfortunately, no goals from either end of the pitch in either half. This was my best chance. Gabby's technique was decent. You see his eyes on the ball the whole time, but Mendy got his hands to it very comfortably indeed. It's a top stop. There weren't that many chances in the game. Apparently that was my only shot. Surely I had more than one shot. Well, it's a draw nonetheless. They were second in the table, so the gap to Chelsea will remain as it was. It depends what City and United and Tottenham do, I think, with regards how big our gap at the top of the table stays or is reduced to. But continually, we are unbeaten in the league. 12 wins, 3 draws now from our opening 15 games. And with Brighton and Everton next, I'd like to think we will stay unbeaten by the end of the day. But time will tell. We've got that Champions League game next against Dinamo Zagreb, which we will sim because we are already guaranteed progression through to the next round of the Champions League. So stay with me because I'm just going to sim it here and now. We'll skip the pre-match press conference. We don't necessarily need to go to that. We'll sim it with the reserve side and a 2-1 win. A comfortable 2-1 win as well by the looks of things. They only got their one back right at the end. Smith Rowe and Eddie Nketiah with the goals. That will see us top of the Champions League group and hopefully with a favourable draw for the first knockout round. Wait and see who that is drawn against in good time. £27 million added. Well done, Eddie. Good lad. Still not that impressed with you, but regardless, thanks for popping up with a goal. So the gap at the top, it is still Chelsea. It's still 7 points. City now level with them, though. Aston Villa actually up in 4th at the minute with Manchester United and Liverpool in 6th, Spurs in 7th. So of the top 7, it's only really Aston Villa that are kind of where they shouldn't be, so to speak. But who's to say that Aston Villa can't be decent? So who could we have then in the knockout round? Dortmund, Leipzig, Athletic Club de Bilbao. We can't face Chelsea in the first knockout round. Or Roma. Sporting, Lyon, or Inter Milan. What is the betting? That we get Inter Milan or Dortmund. Inter, of course, the side that knocked us out of the Europa League last season. I hope they don't do that to me here in the next level of European football. We'll be at full strength. I'll go and make sure that Brighton are putting out a correct side as well. And I'll see you at the Emirates. A similar formation to Roma for Brighton. Robert Sanchez continually in goal. Nathan Phillips, Adam Webster and Lewis Dunk at the back. We've got Yunus Musa on the right with Kauro Mitoma on the left. Jakub Moder in the middle alongside Enoch Nwepu, who has unfortunately had to retire from the game at 24 because of a hereditary heart condition, which is a real shame. But he put out a statement recently, I'm sure you guys have seen it, saying that he wants to stay in the game in some capacity. So whether we're moving to coaching or scouting or something, it looks like Enoch Nwepu is still going to be in and around the game. Whether that's in and around Brighton as well, I'm not sure. Romarinho on the right-hand side of the front three with Denis Undav on the left, and Ludovic Ayorke is the man that leads the line. Now, they do have an 81 rated Estupinian on the bench, and Tariq Lamptey is 78 rated, but they don't play a 5-back anymore, Brighton. So at the minute, it's kind of hard for Tariq Lamptey to get into the team. For now, though, we want to make sure that we continue what we have been doing, which is, whilst we might not have been beating City or beating Chelsea, we are beating the majority of everybody else. So let's keep that going, keep that theory alive, and go and beat Brighton and Everton at the end of this episode, shall we? Gabby Jesus is trying his hardest, and Ødegaard really should have kept that down, really. Gabby, just a pain in the arse for every defender in the league right now. More so than... Oh, that's actually injured Webster as well. Sorry! Sorry. It wasn't my intention to hurt any of your players. I'm not that sort of guy. Romarinho. That's a nice ball. Kirantini might have the pace. He doesn't. Yunus Musa is in and draws the save out of Ramsdale. Making some good saves now, Aaron Ramsdale. Certainly worth keeping that number 1 spot. Enoch Nwepu with the delivery. It's not great. Martinelli will clear away. Out to Tomiyasu. I'm going to get that to Ødegaard, actually. Okay. Or, Saka. Now we'll give it to Ødegaard. There we go. Bit of space for Pellegrini. Jesus. Pellegrini, I thought was going to run again. Saka. Pellegrini. And goal for the Arsenal. And that actually was a very nicely put together move. Not how I wanted to build a move, but once the first pass was misplaced, we just kind of made the best of the situation. And thankfully, I had players making runs and also some decent first touches in there too. Saka's was really nice. Lorenzo Pellegrini's just what he needed. Bangs it past Robert Sanchez, and we lead with his 5th goal in 16 games. Well worth the signing so far, Lorenzo Pellegrini. Particularly impressed with him. Oh, Tomiyasu, that's very nice. Not necessarily needed, because it should have just been a simple foot out anyway. Oh, Gabby! Shot power's too much for the goalkeeper. That's 2-0. Tomiyasu with a bit of a camera. You get camera saves for goalkeepers. That was a bit of a camera interception, wasn't it? He just needed to kind of take a first touch. He didn't need to go for the fancy slide. But Gabby Jesus was like, I could go across goal, or I could just whack it right at the top corner on this near side. That's what he went for. That's what he did. Gabby Jesus wants to keep... Oh, such a good finish. He wants to keep that top of the goal-scoring chart status, and scoring goals continually, especially of that manner, will certainly help. 2-0 Arsenal. He won the ball there. Ødegaard's complaining, but I don't think there should be a card in there. Have they had a red? They have had a red. He got sent. Romarinho's coming off. Wow. I don't think that was a red card. I thought he won the ball. We'll have a look at the replay. Did he win the ball? I think that's particularly harsh to send him off. Tielemans into Ødegaard. Is it a bit of a lunge? Who is it? Is Jakob Moder? Oh yeah. Okay. That is a bit out of control, isn't it? That is 2 feet off the ground. It is much more out of control than I thought it was. He does win the ball, but he absolutely endangers the opponent in doing so, and that is a nasty challenge. In scenarios like that, whether you win the ball or not is actually irrelevant. That is endangering the safety of a fellow professional and absolutely a red card, especially from behind. So there was someone for Omanoya did something similar against Casemiro in the Europa League against Manchester United the other day, and how he didn't get a red card for his challenge, I have absolutely no idea whatsoever. It was disgusting. Somehow he managed to stay on, but on this occasion, Moder isn't as fortunate. A definite red card. That was, yeah, out of control. When, yeah, okay, 1, I think. Tomiyasu. Pretty sure I aimed at Bukayo Saka, but okay. And Mitoma getting down the line here. Brighton's challenge was already difficult enough at 2-0 down. And now with only 10 men, I have a funny feeling this might be Leicester-esque. Through to Gabby. I'm so sorry. 3-0! Let's go! Tomiyasu down the line to Bukayo Saka. And Tielemans to Ødegaard. I'd be open, I think, to having Tielemans drop into that rotation role where Zinchenko was and actually signing an even better centre-mid to play alongside Pellegrini, who has got his scoring boots on today, it seems. 4-0 now against Brighton. And I think I'd be open to signing another world-class centre-mid, actually. And maybe with the scenario that we're in right now, we'll check the other leagues first. Maybe we could justify going for someone like a Kimmich or a Goretzka or someone like that. Maybe. Depends what the other leagues look like. But, I mean, we're in a very strong position at the minute, aren't we? Maybe someone like a Nicolo Barella from Inter. Although, oh my God, Brighton are opened up again. Surely not. It's 5. Oh dear, Brighton. Oh dear, oh dear. We are in trouble. Tielemans into Saka. Tielemans, Pellegrini. Oh my God. 6. It's getting a bit silly now, isn't it? Gabby Jesus makes it 6. We've scored 3 in 13 second half minutes. I promise you I'm on ultimate. They've just got 10 men and are in an awful formation for having 10 men. Ooh, Pellegrini. Been a revelation, Lorenzo Pellegrini. So good in the midfield. Ødegaard's in again. It's 7! It's the second time we've scored 7 with Arsenal. Once at the end of last season. Once at the halfway stage of this. This is because they've got 10 men and, combined with the formation that they're playing, it's a recipe for disaster. And the accuracy of our finishing has been outrageous as well. I'm sorry, Brighton. This feels unfair. Well, that's a nice through ball. Saliba's with Ayorke here, who isn't that fast. He's a bit of a man mountain, though. Back to Yunus Musa. It's nicely played. Good one, too. Undav, maybe. Oh, no! Oh! The clean sheet is gone! Brighton have one back. They've got 16 minutes to score 6 more. Good luck. Unlucky not to score from the initial chance, actually, but Ramsdale nearly bloody saved it as well. Imagine if he had. Enoch and Wepu. I'm glad it's him that scored. Fair play. Martinelli with the delivery. 10 minutes to go. Keeper's going to come, not get there. Saka, go on. Olé! Oh dear. In behind. Tierney's won it back off him though. Excellent defending from the Scot. And Gabby Jesus is in. And nobody is marking Ødegaard in the middle. He's already got 3. Now he's got 4. Well, there were 9 goals in the 7-2 against Leicester. There are 9 goals in the 8-1 against Brighton. Certainly the red card didn't help here, as it didn't help in the Leicester game as well. But you can only play against what's in front of you. And what's in front of us hasn't been much challenge at all. 8-1. Final whistle goes, and Brighton's misery comes to an end. Officially, the biggest win we've had in this save so far. 6 shots from Ødegaard, 4 goals for Ødegaard. Very, very straightforward performance from him at Cam. I think Gabby Jesus got a hat-trick as well, perhaps. I think. Let's have a look. Pellegrini got 2, actually, didn't he? Pellegrini, Jesus. Ødegaard, Pellegrini 2, Jesus is second. No? Maybe? Pellegrini 2, Ødegaard 4. That's 6. Yeah, Jesus 2 as well. Pellegrini 2, Jesus 2, and Ødegaard 4. I think it'd be a bit harsh to go to a press conference and just be like, oh, they're shit, aren't they? Because had they not had the red card, it probably wouldn't have been as straightforward. But, yeah, Martin Ødegaard is doing an Arshavin. He is a special talent. He's our highest rated player at 89, to be fair. So if anyone was ever going to properly stand out, it should be him. But we are looking stronger and stronger at this stage of the season. And we dominated the game. We're definitely going to be an attractive proposition for almost any player in world football in this January transfer window, I think. The board is still frustrated they haven't sold youth players for £10 million, though. But I've got 2 seasons to do that, and we're probably not going to be here any longer than the end of this. So I'm not that arsed about doing it, to be honest. I'm still only reasonable. Reasonable! Come on! Reasonable? Give me a break. Everton away next. Everton in a 5-4-1, which is a pretty negative formation, although they are down the bottom end of the table, so it's not perhaps too much of a surprise. Jordan Pickford, Mauro Junior, Michael Keane, Mason Holgate, Ezri Konsa, and Vitaly Mikolenko as that 5. Then Marco Richter in the midfield with Doucouré, Idrissa Gana Gueye, who's back at Everton, of course, in real life as well, and Dwight McNeil, with Neil Maupay up top through the middle. Options on the bench are thin, although Paul Ebere Onuaku, as we're fully aware, is like 6'7" and a brute force up top. Some changes for me. So, White, Smith Rowe and Marcus Thuram in. But we should still certainly be able to quite comfortably, I hope at least, get the victory in this fixture of football. Tierney down the line there into Martinelli. Quickly forward into Marcus Thuram. And, oh, it's just too easy for Smith Rowe, isn't it? It's 1-0 Everton. No, it's not. It's 1-0 Arsenal at Everton after just 5 minutes. Cut apart their back line there. Really nice through ball. But Smith Rowe still had to finish it. And it appears it doesn't really seem to matter who's at cam or striker. It's just the way that our tactics are set up. Whoever's playing in those positions is in a great situation to score goals. Oh, to be fair, Pickford only just managed to avoid saving that. Very, very nearly able to keep that out. His 4th goal in 10 games. Doucouré to Richter. Oh, it's a really smart turn by Richter. And out wide here to Mauro Junior. He could cross it in. Here's Neil Maupay with options. Richter again. Chasing him around all over the pitch and chasing shadows. And Everton equalise. Mauro Junior, the right back, is the one to bring Everton back on level terms. And that was a good move from Everton, that. I found myself just switching players. Try and get to the ball. Look, change to him. Try and get to the ball. Oh, change to him. Try and get to the ball. Couldn't do it. Really well done. And a smart finish too. Everton level. Free kick in a decent position. I'm actually going to give this to Saka and look to in-swing it towards the edge of the 6-yard box if I can. We'll put quite a bit of power on it. It is looped, and it has gone right to the edge of the 6-yard box, but it's too close to the goalkeeper, unfortunately. Did as I intended, though, but perhaps because it was chipped at quite such a height, it made it a bit more straightforward for the keeper to be like, I'm going to come and get that, because it took so much longer for the ball to actually reach its designated area. It's a nice ball by Mauro Junior into Maupay, and here's Richter. And then Idrissa's there. And Richter again. Oh, seemed to react late to that Ramsdale. Don't know whether he saw it late. That was flying towards the goal. Just threw that right arm up at the last second. Dwight McNeil with a corner. Well, Martinelli looks to flick that on. It might fall for an Everton man still. That hit an arm. It did. It did. It's a free kick for Everton in a really promising position. Dwight McNeil will step up to take it. Or something from the training ground maybe. Or is it still going to be Dwight McNeil? No. No, it's Idrissa. It's not very good. Was a little bit naughty. Just took his feet away from him. Jibril So. Yuri Tielemans. Oh, Dwight McNeil just arrived next to me. I was going to try and turn and shoot. This one, definitely more difficult than the Brighton game, for sure. Which is odd because the starting 11s aren't that dissimilar, really. Just shows you how much a formation can actually change the way that a side plays, both offensively and defensively. It really can dictate how the flow of a game can go, which is why it's so important to get your own formation right when building your own team. Because Everton, to a man, rating-wise, are about the same as Brighton. But you've seen the difference in the way that the games have played. And that's purely down to the formation, really, I think. Obviously, we were already 2-0 up against Brighton by the time the red card came. But Everton with their 5 back, as Brighton used to play, and it's so much more difficult to break them down. Frank Lampard masterclass so far. Everton 1, Arsenal 1. Into Jibril So. And Yuri Tielemans. Just dinked out to Saka. Just trying to toy with Mikolenko there. That's forward to Marcus Thuram. Saka has gone. Oh, but it's a good block by Ezri Konsa. The defender a long way out of position, but still doing the same defensive job. Neil Mope, tackled by Saliba. Wins it back off Saliba. Now we'll talk about players being out of position. Now Saliba's off in the wrong area. Here's Idrissa. Saw the turn coming, but can you stop the pass? The answer is yes. Then the clearance not great. And Idrissa, no, Derek Ray. Not a great effort, was it? Certainly not. It's a nice turn, though, but oh dear. Martinelli's going. Actually, Jibril So might be the better option here to then look for Marcus Thuram, who's onside. Oh, but the defender just in the right position to get a toe on it. Richter, Doucouré. That's a ping. Keeper's there, thankfully. Great ball, though. Good vision. And a good run, too. Jibril So picks up. We'll look straight for Martinelli here. Keep it in, Gabby. Good lad. Right, Thuram. On the end of this, please. Oh, he tried. He flew at it. 10 out of 10 for effort. Whether it would have maybe gone straight back to Martinelli had he made contact, I don't know. Blackburn, the game coming up for Everton next. It could be a very important game for their survival chances at the bottom of the Premier League, but this could also be a very important point for them too. Jibril So with a quick 1-2. And we'll get that into Thuram. Oh, where to go, where to go, where to go, where to go. Ah! Tielemans looking for Martinelli, finding Smith Rowe. Looking for Thuram, finding Martinelli. Oh, good save, Jordan Pickford. Smart save down low. Saka keeps it in play. We'll look for Tielemans. And then there is Jibril So on the edge. And we'll look for Thuram again, who spun his man. And, oh, it's a good tackle. Everton performing very well here. I am going to make a couple of changes. Let's bring Marquinhos on for Saka. And then I'm actually going to bring Bobby Firmino on as well for Thuram and play him up top. I can't drop him too deep. I will drop Smith Rowe a bit. And that should allow me the opportunity to drop Firmino a bit. Change him to a centre forward. Come on, Bobby. Can you lead the line? That's what I'm intrigued to find out. 20 minutes or so, depending on when he actually comes on, to try and prove to me that he can be reliable at striker as well, perhaps. Saka, looking for Smith Rowe, is about to come off. Hasn't been found anyway. Oh, lovely little back heel. Here's Dwight McNeil. Demarai Gray primarily plays on the left-hand side, but because Dwight McNeil is out there at the moment, he's playing on the right here. Doucouré trying to just out-muscle him, but I've done so in an illegal fashion. Now, if they give it to Idrissa again, I'm not worried. But it's not going to Idrissa again. And it is Mauro Junior! The unbeaten record is at threat. 2 very good goals from the right back. That free kick was unstoppable. Wow! Pick that out. Should I have jumped with the wall? Would they have gotten in the way if it had they jumped? Or probably. Is that my fault for not jumping? Certainly my fault for giving away the foul. Wow. It really is a Lampard masterclass. Managerial masterclass that unfortunately isn't from me. Oh, the invincible record is not looking good right now. Mope, Ramsdale with a late save. 6 minutes to go and it's all Everton right now. Dwight McNeil to take the corner. It looks like he's going to go short to Damari Gray. Indeed he does. Is he going to get it into the middle, to the edge of the box? Idrissa. Mope! Ramsdale makes the save. He's trying his best here to keep us in it. I need an equaliser, and quickly. Dwight McNeil throws it in. Keeper's going to come and get there. I'm going to bowl this out as sharply as I possibly can. Gabby Martinelli is just going to have to try and run here, but he's up against Junior, who's been amazing going forward. One of the best attacking fullbacks we've played against all save. And not bad defensively either. And I can't get to that. Doucouré, well in silly, but that's going to bounce back. Quickly. Come on. Bobby, the former Liverpool man. Oh, can't get away from anyone. 3 minutes added on. I needed to win the ball then. I'm going to lose. The unbeaten record, the invincible challenge is over. Oh, man. Everton 2, Arsenal 1. We win 8-1 against Brighton. Come to Goodison Park and have been lumped by Lampard. A managerial masterclass indeed, but from my opposite number. Arsenal lose their first Premier League game of the season. It started very well, but that free kick was, a worthy winning goal, to be fair. I think we can say a worthy winning goal, and fair play to Everton for pulling that out. They need that at the bottom of the table as well, which is why it's not like in real life. It's not always as easy as you might think to go to a side that's struggling at the bottom, because they have everything to fight for and will do so tooth and nail to ensure they get something from the game. It wasn't down to a lack of effort from us, absolutely, but we just couldn't get enough of the ball. Our defending wasn't good enough. I wouldn't say Everton was just better than us on the day. It was just that one set piece. But how often do you see one set piece be the difference in a game? Gutted. The gap at the top is still 7, but it depends what else happens. The gap at the top is cut to 5. Chelsea... Sorry. Cut to 4. Chelsea win is 5 to Villa, 6 to City, and 7 to United. With Brentford to come... I might as well, seeing as we're still here, sim the Brentford game here and now, because we were going to sim it in the next episode anyway. Now this should be straightforward, he says. A 2-2 draw. Jesus and Martinelli, Joe Willock and Dervishoglu for Brentford. It's a 2-2 draw, and all of a sudden, that 7-point gap at the top of the table come down is still just 4, but it could come down as little as 2 if Chelsea win their game in hand. But risk of losing Xhaka, Turner and Pepe, to be honest, I'll probably offer them new deals. Specifically, I'll be tempted to accept that, but no, I'll reject it. Specifically, Xhaka, because I want him to stay at the club. And Chelsea have cut it to... Oh my God. Chelsea have cut it to 2 points. It was 7 2 games ago. Now it's just 2. And all of a sudden, despite being so good for so long, the title challenge is under threat. And with with Manchester City and Tottenham to play in the next episode tomorrow, well, how quickly things can change. We really do need to strengthen in January, perhaps. Tielemans has actually just grown to 86, which is not great, because I was thinking about replacing him in the starting 11. I still might, but certainly he's continuing to improve. It's a hell of a starting 11, but it's a starting 11 that couldn't do anything more than draw two Premier League games and lose one today. Everton won 3-1 in their next game as well. Are they actually saving themselves at the minute? Those 6 points have drawn Everton from the relegation zone up to 14th. So important for them. So important for us as well. on the flip side of it. And up next for us, a North London derby. Wow. Don't miss the episode tomorrow. It's going to be a cracker. I'll see you then.